Okay, so now we are back and we have sorted out some of the lagging. Hopefully, it is much better now and it is watchable as well. But we are watching Rohan Shankar again, and he seems to have dropped down to 7th, but that doesn't mean he can't make a comeback. There's 3 minutes left in this free practice session. Let's see if he can get back up and set a faster lap. Sohail Shah. Sohail Shah has set the fastest lap of this session, which is incredible. With a 1:48, he is extremely young, 19, and he is already a Formula LGB champion. And he is definitely going places, and he is extremely fast on and off track, as you can see. And but he's not going down without a fight, and no one is going down without a fight. So he needs to watch out because there's going to be extremely close counters and extremely close fighting. Hopefully not too hard racing, but action is action. So as Rohan Shankar goes down Ascari, having a little bit of oversteer, but getting a solid exit off, maybe just slightly going off the track, but I don't think that was invalidated at all. Let's see what the judges have to say. By judges, I mean FIA in the game, the stewards. But as you can see, Rohan is using the Lamborghini Huracan GT3 spec car, which is extremely fast and extremely powerful. And all the top 3 are in the pits right now. That means it's open market for people like Arjun and Amit to really gain up on their time and see how they can do and push themselves to the limit. So now Arjun is also in the pits. We have 6 drivers in the pits now, 7 drivers in the pits. That means that Amit can really make up some time. Rohan can really make up some time. Hari can really make up some time. As well as everyone else. So yeah, Rohan has seemed to have made up some time, which is always good. Making up time is always good. He's not too far behind from the leaders, so we know that he can definitely keep up with the pace. And let's see what type of race strategy he has going into the first race in Zandvoort, which is on tomorrow at 8 o'clock. Do not miss it. So as Rohan Shankar comes into the pits, that means that there's only a handful of drivers out, like Amit. Amit getting a good entry onto the Ascari and getting a good exit, just slightly touching the curb. That's exactly what you want to do. He might have been a little bit turned in, not going all the way out and using the full potential of the track, but that's okay because now he's gotten a good exit off and a solid top speed. And if I'm not wrong, everyone is using default setups. Oh, a little bit of oversteer. Amit has gone into the wall. That means he will have damage. And he is stuck in the pits now. He is out. That means only 3 more drivers out. Karthik Tarani.
Green light, go, go, go.
So now that that session is over, we are starting probably the last session of the night, another 20-minute session, and we have all the drivers coming out. We have 3 purple sectors from Sohail Shah. He has set a remarkable time, and you can see that he has seen his times from last session and seen how much time he was losing in sector 2, and now he's made that purple, giving him all 3 purples, giving him the fastest lap of the session. Absolutely remarkable. But not too far behind is Abhishek, just 8 tenths behind. In gaming standards is not a lot. So we can expect some really close encounters and really close fighting for positions in the race to come. And again, I would like to note that Sohail Shah has set the fastest time of the session with a Mercedes AMG, which is the first to have been in top 3 all session. And we've seen it with last session that it was Ferrari, Audi, and Porsche, and now we see the Mercedes making a comeback. That means that Ferrari is down to 4th and below. We'll need to be expecting some Ferrari comeback in this track because Monza is their home track, which means it's a very important race for Ferrari in general. So to see Ferrari be on top will mean everything to them. And let's just see how this session goes and see who sets the fastest time. We've got Abhishek or Amit coming into turn 1, getting a solid entry, not the best, but a solid entry and a solid exit out. Probably some of the best exits I've seen out of turn 2. Coming into turn 3, he is keeping that nice tight line. Doesn't want to go too wide to a point where he's scraping rubber and causing tire wear. But he seems to have got this track down. He's coming into turn 5. Looking very, very comfortable. Sorry, turn 4. Looking very, very comfortable. Coming into turn 6 now. Keeping it nice and tight. Wants to get just on the curb. Little bit wide, but nothing that will cost him too much time. Coming in, not touching the curb. It is important that you do not touch a curb. Otherwise, you are liable to spin out or oversteer, because that curb is extremely dangerous. So now Amit is coming down in the Parabolica. Let's see what time he has set. I don't think he has set an invalidated time. Going a little bit wide, but nothing that will get him an invalidated time this lap. Let's see what lap time he has set. He has set the fastest time of the session so far with a solid time of 1:49.4. Hurry just behind him, not too far behind. Abhishek. Arjun Mayani coming in for his lap as well. Let's see how he does. Coming out into the exit. Nice. And he has set a really, really good last turn. And that means he is up. And he's the fastest driver of the session so far, with a 1:49.35. A remarkable performance. Now we are spectating Rohan Shankar. He has not been too far behind from the pack, and we could expect some good racing. Oh, going a little bit, having a bunch of oversteer, going into the wall. Rohan is probably out, and that has compromised his lap time and might even compromise Saurav's last lap as well. Maybe not. No, Saurav is good to go. That means Rohan is back into the pits, not setting a time, which is upsetting news. But Rohan had a little bit of oversteer coming out of that, going maybe just that slight bit too fast, and that could have caused him to oversteer. In these cars, it's not the easiest thing to correct an oversteer, like a Formula One car or any open wheel car for that matter. Arjun is not on not pole. Sorry, he's not set the fastest time, but we do have two Ferraris up in first and second, which is remarkable. As I said, they need to make a comeback. This is their home track. It means a lot for Ferrari. We got the two A's up in two Ferraris. Amit setting a 149.2, 2/10 faster than his previous time, and Arjun Maini just behind him, probably going to set a good time. We don't know. He's now in the pits, so it's possible that he has spun out or he's just gone into the pits and not set a time. But we got Hari right behind in the Audi. Let's see what time he can set. Hari coming onto the straight. Let's see what time he has set. It does not seem like he's improved or he has set an invalidated time. That is okay. He has plenty of time to try again. Karthik Tarani coming out in the AMG. Let's see what Karthik Tarani can do. Karthik Tarani actually does do some training on the sim. He has a beautiful simulator, and let's see how he can perform. I've seen him race in real life as well as on the simulator, and I can tell you he is not a man that you want to take lightly. So we have Krishanu coming into the first turn, getting a really good entry into turn 1 and a solid exit out of turn 2. He had perfected that. Let's see how the rest of the lap will go. Getting an onboard view of him in his car. Seems to be going great so far. Coming into turn 4, getting a nice, just slightly touching the curb. Maybe not the ideal exit, as he was a little bit wide, but I think Krishanu is fine with that. I did see all 4 wheels off the track. Will that be an invalidated time? We don't know until the end of the lap if he has set it or not. But we have Abhishek, who's in the pits, the only one in the pits so far, and he has yet to set a time. So we're down to 10 drivers now, as it is only a mock session. So that means that all 19 drivers will be here tomorrow at 8 o'clock, and hopefully you guys will too, to see some epic, that is 3 epics, some epic racing coming into this weekend, a full action-packed weekend for you guys. Hopefully you guys will stay at home and not go outdoors, and if you are going outdoors, only go for the essentials. And remember, practice safe remember, practice safe social distancing, washing your hands, and just also watch the Who. They keep you updated with everything and making sure that you guys are being okay or doing okay. But let's get back straight back to racing. Abhishek still in the pits. We are on board with Rohan, who had a really bad crash in the Parabolica. But let's see what type of comeback he can make. He's in the Lamborghini Huracan GT3 spec, which is an amazing car, and let's see if he can put that car into maximum potential and maximum usage. Someone has seemed to go a little bit slow. Will he compromise his lap? No, he will let him pass, which is good driving right there. Respectful racing, definitely respected across everyone and everyone in the community. Rohan Shankar coming out of turn 7, getting a nice exit. He seems to be very fast this lap. Let's see how much he can gain this lap, and let's hope that we don't see Parabolica in the wall again. Going just a little bit wide, not the ideal entry, but he gets a really good exit out, maybe even gaining some time coming into that last straight and last turn, the big old Parabolica. Going a little bit wide on the turn. That means he has gone a little bit too fast, but that is not compromising his lap at all. Let's see what time he has set. Coming over the finish line, 2.265 seconds behind Amit, which is extremely fast and extremely great. So new news on who has set the fastest lap. That is Arjun Mayani, setting just a little bit faster than Amit, but that means that the two Ferraris are still up in first and second, which is extremely fast. Amit has stopped on the track, and that is yellow flags. He is back into the pits. I'm not sure exactly what happened, but hopefully nothing too serious. Arjun just going off and having a little bit of oversteer, just going a little bit too fast into turn 4, and that compromised his exit on turn 5, which is not ideal, and he will have to probably restart that time. But he still has 6 minutes left to gain, which is a lot of time. That can probably set him another 2 laps. But going around Parabolica, Rohan Shankar, let's see what time he has set now. So now that we only have 4 minutes left in the session, we still have Arjun and Amit in the Ferraris up in first and second. We have the Audi of Hari in third, which is really good. We still have Kuti, who's not set a time yet. He might have had some issues or invalidated laps, but he seems to have gotten a solid exit out of the Parabolica. Let's see what time Kuti has set. Sorry, this is Krishanu, not Kuti. Krishanu has split the Ferraris into setting the second fastest time of today. Splitting the Ferraris from their first and second. That means that Kuti will have to make a back. He will have to make a comeback. So now coming down with only less than 3 minutes left in the session, we have Arjun Maini still in first place, setting a faster time than last lap, which is great. We have some yellow sectors, yellow flags, sorry, and it looks like Saurav has just saved it. He had a lot of oversteer coming into the Ascari, but he has seemed to have saved it, but might compromise his lap, which is not ideal. But Saurav is comfortably sitting in fourth place. Still a little bit of time to find and could still gain a lot of pace. But let's see what Saurav can set. It doesn't seem like he might have set the fastest time. That oversteer seems like it might have compromised it unless he had really, really good first and second sectors. No, he has not gained on his time. That means he's going for another fastest lap. Coming into turn 1. Not overshooting it. Rohan just behind. Rohan has actually gained almost a full second. He has only gained one position, but he's gained a full second. Still a lot of time to find, but definitely getting there. Hari just behind Rohan, or just ahead of Rohan. And Hari might be under a lot of trouble now that Rohan is just a couple milliseconds behind. So Rohan Shankar going into the Ascari, going extremely wide. That might have given him an invalidated time. But let's see, coming into the Parabolica, let's see what time he has set. Has he gained on his time, as he already has gained 1 second? How much more can he gain? He's not taking a very tight line going into the Parabolica, and he might be losing a couple of tenths there, but not too much. Shankar has not set a faster time, but that is okay. He still has enough time for one more lap. Coming into the final lap, Arjun Maini is not going to be able to set another lap. But let's see, Arjun Maini just probably wants track time. Amit Kuti, I don't think he's setting a faster lap than that. And he has actually finished his session. That means that he is done. Karthik Tarani has not been able to gain on his time, but he is still out on a lap. Let's see if we can get a view of Karthik Tarani in a moment. while we wait for the view to switch to Karthik Tarani, we will spectate Arjun Mayani, actually spectating Rohan Shankar right now, or back to Arjun Mayani now. So we only have the last final lap. Will Arjun Mayani gain? Probably not, as he looked to be out on his out lap, so that means that a time will not be set by Arjun Mayani. But what can Rohan Shankar set? Will he set a faster time? And will he be prepared for the challenges coming into Zandvoort, Monza, and Spa? These are questions that will only be answered during this weekend and live. So whoever is watching, be there tomorrow 8 p.m. IST. And let's see what time Rohan Shankar has set. Coming into the final finish line, Rohan Shankar had not gained on his time, which is okay. But as the session comes to an end, we shall pause this and finish off the live stream. This has been the mock test. We have found some challenges, but we have aimed to gain on it. We will be live tomorrow at 8 p.m. and luckily or hopefully you guys will be there as well.